Hey guys, so today we're going to be working on, it's going to look a little weird. We're going to have two different videos. It's going to be Sgt Frog, but the version that we picked up today was one that comes with both a Sgt Frog statue, like little build itself, which is what I'm currently working on, and then another one comes with, I want to say, it's like a miniature version of Sgt Frog and the robot. I don't know what the robot's name is. It's been a minute since I've watched Sgt Frog, so I'm not entirely sure on what to call it, but it transforms between a plane and it's like secret mode and it's regular robot mode. So there's a little treat in here for y'all. I actually have two models being built instead of just the average one, but the size for these things I feel like makes up for it. Now the neat little gimmick here is that Sgt Frog, the bigger scale version, has two different eye units that it can use. I didn't mean to say eye sockets. Two different eye units that it can use. One where he's got kind of this mischievous look on his face and his normal expression where his eyes are open. So that's neat how it allows you to pop that little section off and twist it so you can get a better range of emotion from it, as opposed to where we built Goku, it was changing out the faces, or even with the mobile doll Sarah. This one is simply pushing the eye things back in, and it's really weird when you have to explain it, but you just push those back and you can twist a little lever in the back of his head and it allows you to change the eyes. There's no way for me to explain that without that coming off as weird. The tongue sticker has two different forms. You have like his generic face and like his generic tongue mouth open thing, and then there's the one where it goes better with the mischievous eyes, but sadly there's no switching that one here, so you pick a sticker and, well, you stick with it. That's how that one works. The Sgt Frog, I genuinely enjoyed the anime. I remember watching it with my sister, so when I saw this kit, I couldn't help but pick it up. Another reason for that, besides the nostalgia reasons, was because of his obsession with Gunpla in a lot of his episodes and a lot of his cameos, even his little spaceship but the robot that he pilots, is all references to Gunpla. And as a Gunpla dedicated channel, I feel like there's no better mascot for us than Sgt Frog. So I thought it was pretty cool to put together a character that shared the same love for plastic models and Gundams that we do. So this was pretty neat. I fully enjoyed putting it together. It was a little weird, mostly because his head doesn't want to stay attached, and he's a smaller scale, so his head is bigger than the rest of his body, so it doesn't hold up very well. So that's pretty cool. Here you can see I could for some reason figure out which way that goes, and I popped that on wrong. So it was an easy build. Nothing was too hard to put together, and when I did make mistakes, it was not that hard to take apart. So I genuinely enjoyed it. I would say this one was about $15 from the before tax. It was about $15 from Barnes & Noble. So it wasn't too over the top. With it being two smaller models just bundled as one, that was pretty cool. I don't think I personally would have paid any more than what I did for it, because like I said, he's got a very limited range of motion. He's not as big as any of your other Gunpla figures, and with the head that just keeps popping off, and the head, the smallness, then you get to the robot, and that little dude his arms are weird. Like if you apply too much pressure in the direction they're supposed to go, it still looks like it's going to break. You get those white stress marks. So it's not high up there on my list. I don't hate it, but I think for its price range, it was pretty good. The stickers for the eyes were a little weird. This is the little star on the top of his helmet, or his head here. But the eye stickers were a little weird. In the photos you've seen, you can probably tell that one of his eyes isn't as flush as the other. What I will probably end up doing is taking these stickers off and actually doing the eyes by hand. So if you look right here, what it is whenever I'm looking at the photos and I'm looking at the instructions, unless it's very specific, it's easier for me to kind of draw out the symbol that I'm looking for, the character that I'm looking for. That way I have it in my mind, because sometimes I'm looking at this and I'm getting lost. So it's just something to help me stay on track. Sgt Frog didn't have that many things to put together. He has his little, I want to say it's like a bomb. He has his beam rifle, a bazooka, and a shield for the bigger version. So, and those are also references to the Gundam series. I would say the RX model is where you get the inspiration from. Actually, I want to say a lot of times there's cameos of the RX in the background. That's why when I did the photos and I took that little photo shoot, I had it so that he was standing in front of, I wouldn't say icon, but the thing he enjoyed. There's something neat about building a character that is fully engrossed in Gunpla and Gundam and is fully involved and loves it as a Gunpla builder, that it was pretty cool. I feel like he is someone we can all relate to. He shirks off his daily duties so he can sit at home, play video games, relax, and he wants to build Gundam models, and that's something I can relate to. I don't ever really want to go to work. I want to just sit at home and put Gundam models together. It's fun, and it's pretty neat putting together this little guy who has that nice obsession. I mean, it might be a little more than some of us, but it's something we can relate to. That idea of this is something I enjoy. So, kind of jealous that the little guy gets to pilot his own robot. So that's kind of cool. So we're stuck here with no robots, but I wish I could pilot a giant robot. That would be pretty nice. Another thing I want to talk about and get out there is I'm going to also start branching off and doing I will continue to do the models. I will always do the models. Those will never stop. The models are something I fully enjoy. But another thing I want to start incorporating into the Model X page, and we'll see. I make no promises. This is not a for sure thing, but I have other interests, and I would love to use this page and this channel to also express those interests. Something I'm super excited about is E3. That's a big video game event that's coming up, and some friends of mine, we may collaborate and do another channel and open a channel dedicated to stuff like that. Or I may talk on this channel about things that I was genuinely excited for, like the Pokemon Direct dropped today. So I'm probably going to do a video for that, at least things that I was excited about. And I'll drop the link to that, and at the end of this video I will have it so you can go straight to that video after this. Like I said, that one is more so I can talk about other things, because I do enjoy the Gunpla, and I do enjoy putting together the plastic models, and I just have other interests that I really would like to share with you guys and get your feedback on. I don't really do so much as reviews on the Gunpla, because I feel like everyone has their own personal takeaways from it. Whereas I know when I built the origin model of the RX-78, it was hard for me. Like, that was my first master grade model. So my review and my 2 cents on it wouldn't really mean that much, because that was my first time. That's why I don't do reviews. Someone could have sat down and they could have done it and they could have fully enjoyed it and had no issues, whereas his hands gave me some problems, so that would have taken away points in my book, but that's because I made mistakes there. So that's why I don't really do reviews for these little guys. If you can see right here, this poor little Sgt Frog's head just kind of falls off, it rolls around. his legs were kind of weird. I was toying around with the idea of having him do this build right here, and this is where we've transitioned into the next video. So I was going, you can see he's off to the right. I was going to have him do the build for this and try to do a stop motion thing, and I'm no good at stop motion. I have not tried it yet, but this was with his small range of motion. I didn't want to toy around with him too much, and there was just a lot that would have been working against me if this would have been my first stop motion, which is something I do want to do. Yet again, there's a lot of things I have planned for the channel. There's a lot of things that I want to do. Model X, I chose the name Model X for various reasons. It's just, you have the models that we build. That's what I like. I build models, and that's what I show you guys. That's what the Instagram, that's what everything's under, Model X. And it's just kind of a play on the fact that we build models, and that's the letter of my first name. Another thing is the RX-78 was the very first introduction to the main, I think it's, the main universe for the Gundam series. Like, I don't think G Gundam is in the same universe as like your others, and I really just look how simple the RX looks. So that was, I also played a factor in the deciding of the name. That's also why like the Instagram is called Model X7. I think it's Model X78 or something, but the 78, that's where that comes from. So, but that was the name. That's why I decided on that name. It was like a play on the whole model building aspect, and there's this also kind of like techie look into it, like a serial, like the model number of something, and this is just Model X. That's the model number, Model X. That's what it is. And I really want to do a video on the shells for the Joy-Cons on the Nintendo Switch. I've changed those out repeatedly, so that's something I'd like to start introducing, is some techie DIYs and stuff, or the changing of things. I have big plans for the channel, and it's just learning how to implement them and get everything running smoothly. I think right now we've got the plastic model. I was gonna say Gundam. I kind of use Gundam as the overarch for everything, but the plastic model thing we've got going on, I think we've got a nice, how do I want to put this? A nice idea of what we do. So we've got a nice formula going on. I think that's what I was trying to say. We've got a good formula going. So I really want to start branching out and working on other projects and discussing other things with you all. Another thing I really want to do is I genuinely want you guys' feedback. If there's a model kit you would love to see put together, or something you would recommend, I would love to put one of those together, do the photos. It's helping me grow as a model builder, as a photographer, as an editor. All of these things, all of these skills are coming together. So I genuinely would love to hear back from you guys about anything you recommend. Just like I said, growing the page. And I do appreciate the support. I know every video we come back to this, so I'm not going to spend 30 minutes talking about that again, because I appreciate y'all so much, and we come back to this all the time. As you can tell though, I have not done any of the live streams, and I think I realized why. I don't like live streaming. I really don't. I tried. The problem I run into is I have to pay attention to these models. I really do, when I'm putting them together, or else I get frustrated and I do stuff wrong, and then I have to backtrack, and that's creating more time. And then on top of that, I'm trying to record, and there's just a lot going on all at once. So I don't do live streams because I'm already putting all my effort into making this as flawless as possible, and just one go, just one stop. Hit start on the recording, and I go from there. I try not to stop whatsoever until the end. So doing streams, I have to pay attention to what people are saying, making sure I'm responding to you guys, giving you all the attention, you know, that you all deserve for watching these things live. So I don't think I'll continue doing streams. It was cool, but I don't think I will be able to do it. Maybe later on down the road, but as of right now, I won't be able to work on my streams. And I feel bad, but I don't really, because I don't want to stress myself out with it. If I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to add too much to my plate. So this little guy right here, the robot, was kind of cool. I like the stickering was weird, just for the mouth. But I think I understood why they did it that way. I have him, the way I have him displayed, the big frog, the big one, the little dude, and the robot all have the same facial expression, and it's hilarious to me. But I have them set up next to the RX-78 because I wouldn't feel comfortable putting them anywhere else. That I feel like they're like secretly all in the same universe. They might not know it, but they are. So that's that. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I genuinely want to start branching out with the channel and doing other things. I think it's pretty cool. I genuinely enjoy doing this stuff. This is too much fun for me. Just connecting with people and sharing my ideas, my thoughts, and the progress that I've made is pretty cool. So I want to keep doing that. I would say we're getting better with the talking about stuff. I don't think there's as much awkward silence as there was beforehand. I would personally say that I'm getting better at carrying on the conversation for quite some time. Or not a conversation, but the talking portion for quite some time. But then I do get points where I don't really say anything, so my apologies. This part on the little guy was weird. Something didn't want to click in right, and I don't know if I ever got it to click in right, but it's not giving me any problem, so I'm going to assume I have. This build didn't take super long to put together. It was, the reason I would say this one is up there in the 20 some odd minute range is because of the fact that it's two models in one. It was the Sgt Frog, and then it was Sgt Frog and his robot thing. The legs on this one was a little weird. So with the fact that he does, he transforms, it was strange trying to figure out how the legs do the like if you look when you connect the head unit, the body unit, it's all kind of one thing. When you connect that to the torso, there's the part that it slides into one of the little PC parts, like the little, it's what you use to put the arm sockets in for a lot of the other kits. That piece slides down a bit and it rotates to the back of the body. So I mean, it's a little weird. It was a little funky. I think I finally got down how it's supposed to work. It just takes some time and some toying with it. Because from the jump, it's a little weird. The instruction manual that comes with this guide doesn't really give you too much detail on how you're supposed to do the transformation, so it took a little bit of toying with. But like all the other models, once you start getting it down and you start working on it, like working on one leg, the next leg is a cakewalk. Same with the arm. Once you start working on the arm, the next arm is a cakewalk. And the way they did the instructions for this one, it's kind of all jumbled into one page. So you know how other kids, it's like you work on the upper arm, you work on the shoulder, upper arm, forearm, and then you bring it all together. This one's just like, instead of breaking it down, it just has everything on one page, and it's like, here you go, piece it together. So it's a little overwhelming at first because of how much stuff is on the page at once. But like I said, I think he turned out pretty cool. I think it was really neat looking at the little robot next to some of the bigger ones. And right now I have him in his little transformation stage because I think it's adorable when he's as a plane. And then from here on, we're just putting the arms together. The stickers, this one doesn't have as much stickers as any of the other kids we put together. I'd say there's a collective total of 12 stickers. 14, 16, 17, 18 stickers grand total. Because there's not that much detail to him. So, I mean, there's not much that goes into it. But when you look at, say, like some of the RX models, or some of the real grades, the high grade, not so much as the high grades, but the real grades and the master grades, once you start getting them, they're decals for days. So this was the least amount of stickers that I've had to do. So I like it. It's pretty nice. I mean, it has, the Star Wars ones don't have that many stickers, but the stickers they do have are really detailed and really small. So yeah, I know, we kind of stepped away from the Star Wars models, and then we went to Dragon Ball, and then we went to Sgt Frog, and like, there's no real rhyme or reason to how we do any of this. I jump from the robots to any movies that are coming out, like, what is it? I think I want to say in July we have a Buzz and Woody Cinema Rise. I think that's what they're called, Cinema Rise. Those are coming out, and I'm really excited, so I'll probably pick those up. But in between now and then, I could do anything. I could do the frame arms, the frame girls, something from Zone of the Enders. There's no rhyme or reason as to how I put these things together. I go to the store, I go, ooh, that looks cool, boom, and I buy it. I go solely based off of, oh, that looks cool, it is bought. So like I said, if there's any suggestions, I'll roll with those, but until people start suggesting stuff, I go to the store and I pick up what looks cool at the time. Or I have my wife pick up something and she'll go, oh, you know, I think this looked really cool, it has a nice color scheme, and that's how we pick, is based off of the color scheme of everything. Well, that's how she picks those, if it fits the color scheme or if it's a little different. I pick it based off of, does it look cool? Does it make me excited to put it together? Does it give off that giant robot feel that I'm looking for? So this one was pretty cool. And like I said, the fact that he loves the Gunpla universe, I blanked on that one. Gunpla universe just as much as we do was pretty cool. That's why I put this guy together. I felt like it was pretty cool to see someone something that has as much love for the series as we do come to life. So, but once we got to this part though of the video, it was just putting together those little accessories, and there weren't that many, so I went ahead and did it on camera. Normally I avoid putting the weapons and stuff together, but I think it turned out pretty great. Like I said, Sgt Frog was pretty cool, guys. If there's any suggestions you have, if you're interested in any other kind of videos, or if there's anything you'd like to add, please let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the Instagram up, follow the Facebook page. I now have a WordPress, which is also in the description. But till next time, guys, peace. Thanks for watching.